you have to have a lot of faith in what you're doing, and if you do have a lot of faith in what you're doing, then the idea of investing some money into this idea, this project, doesn't seem like so much of an issue. So yeah, go out, start a record label. It could change your life. My name is Jamie Russell. We are here today in my apartment in Berlin, and we're here to talk about one of my labels, Sneaker Social Club. Perfect. Sneaker for me is kind of a modern day stand-in of, to put it in a kind of bracket, would be just UK rave, and its many derivatives of, so hardcore, jungle, garage. But yeah, Sneaker, strictly UK rave. Hypercolour had been running for a few years, and Hypercolour, let's say that was kind of more on a house and techno tip. I was particularly tired and bored of the sort of house techno scene at that point. The music was very minimal, so it was kind of that period where, you know, all the cool DJs were playing at Circo Loco and DC-10, and there was a lot of terrible music that kind of came from that period, you know. I got to a point where I started then looking backwards, and at the same time you kind of had all these labels and artists that were putting out this music which was referencing records and scenes and genres that kind of that I was into sort of many years previous. It was almost like being reborn in some senses, because I went off on this tangent, and you know, and then what you realise is you traced all this back to garage, to jungle, and you go, well, yeah, it was kind of, I like all that shit anyway, you know. So that was a real inspiring time, and then being fascinated by what ensued, which was all these sort of post-dubstep producers, or the guys that came from that scene, that just started making this super cool and interesting take on house and techno. I guess I just kind of reached out to certain producers that were inspiring me and whose records I were buying at the time. I think I had a vision of what I wanted to do with the label before kind of approaching these artists. And a lot of the artists, I guess, having sort of grown up at a similar time, probably shared these similar influences. I don't actually have any of the copies we put together because thankfully it's sold out. But we did a 2-part reissue of the Brothers Grimm Exodus, The Lion Awakes, which was, for me, this was literally the tune I would just like listen to on repeat and force everybody in the playground, school playground that was into sort of rave or even hip hop or whatever, to just check out this record, which I remember just being obsessed with, like the sub bass. So there's a breakdown where it's just nothing but used to like fast forward it, rewind it, listen to it again. So that little sort of 45-second section, just used to listen to that on repeat. I think the one reason that we're here now, still putting out records, is because we invested a lot of money out of our own pockets at the time. Too much, some might say. But we I guess we kind of saw this label as an expensive hobby, we would sooner rather put in a few £100 each for a remixer on a record rather than, I don't know, take our girlfriends for dinner or something. It was the end of many a relationship back then. It's most definitely kind of not just putting out records that are nostalgic for the sake of it, you know. It's most definitely want to be still sort of pushing things forward. I can't really see the point of just, you know, reintroducing classic hardcore or rave records, but it's kind of it's a fine line to get right, I think. You know, I'm very fortunate that I'm still working in music. I mean, let's not get carried away here. It's putting out records doesn't pay the bills, but it's become this vehicle to have a nice life, meet lots of people, lots of interesting people, discover new music, you know, play some records. What more could you ask for?